द्वाविमौ पुरुषौ राजन् स्वर्गस्योपरि तिष्ठतः प्रभुश्च क्षमया युक्तो दरिद्रश्च प्रदानवान्.
Welcome, dear listener. Today we sit with a single verse from the Mahabharata, a verse spoken in the middle of a sleepless night that quietly overturns everything we assume about who stands highest in this world. Listen to the words first. Dvavimau purushau rajan swargasyopari tishtataha prabhushcha kshamaya yukto daridrascha pradanavan. The meaning is simple and startling. These two persons, O king, stand even above heaven itself, the powerful one who is endowed with forgiveness and the poor one who still gives. Let us open the words gently, one by one. Dvau imau means these two, spoken as if Vidura is pointing at them, as if they are standing right there in the room. Purushau means two persons. Rajan means O king, for this is addressed to a king. Swargasya upari tishtataha, they stand above heaven. And notice the verb tishtataha from the root stha, to stand. They do not merely visit heaven, they stand established beyond it permanently like mountains. Then the two persons are named. Prabhu from the root bhu, to be, with the prefix pra, meaning one who is fully able, one who has real power to act. Shamaya yuktaha, joined with forgiveness. The word shama comes from the root ksham, to endure, to bear. Beautifully, Kshama is also a classical name for the earth herself, who bears the plough, bears our footsteps, bears everything, and still gives us harvests. And yuktaha, joined, comes from the root yuj, the very root of the word yoga. So forgiveness in this powerful man is not a mood, it is yoked to his strength like a discipline. The second person is the daridra, the poor man. The Sanskrit root here is dra, to run about, and the word literally paints a man running here and there, scrambling for his next meal. Even he is pradanavan, from the root da, to give, with pra, meaning forth giving, wholehearted giving, and the ending van, meaning it is his standing nature, not one donation, a giver by character. Now, where does this verse come from? It belongs to the Vidura Niti, the counsel of Vidura, found in the Udyoga Parva of the Mahabharata, on the very eve of the great war. The scene is unforgettable. The blind king Dhritarashtra cannot sleep. His messenger has returned from the Pandavas, carrying words too heavy to speak before morning. The old king burns with anxiety, torn between love for his son Duryodhana and the knowledge of his own injustice. So he calls for Vidura, his wise half-brother, and begs for words that might bring sleep to a troubled mind. And Vidura answers with a river of wisdom that has flowed for thousands of years since. See how pointed this verse is in that room. Vidura says, O king, to the one man who holds all the power to prevent the war, the power to restrain his son, the power to restore what was stolen. The king is the Prabhu who is refusing forgiveness in action. And Vidura himself, born of a serving woman, holding no throne, gives the only wealth he has, which is truth, and he gives all of it. The verse secretly describes both men in the room, what the king ought to become and what the counselor already is. Now the deeper teaching. Why these two persons? Because virtue, this verse says, is not measured by the size of the act, but by the cost hidden inside it. Anyone can forgive when they are helpless. Anyone can give from overflowing surplus. But the man with the sword who chooses to sheath it, and the man with 2 coins who gives 1, these two have conquered the exact temptation that belongs to their station. Power naturally wants revenge. Poverty naturally wants to grasp. Whoever defeats the corruption native to his own position rises above position altogether. Why above heaven? In the old understanding, Swarga, heaven, is a reward. You earn it, you enjoy it, and when your merit runs out, you fall back down. Heaven is a transaction. But costly, uncalculating goodness belongs to a different order entirely. It asks for nothing, so nothing can run out. That is why these two stand above the highest reward there is. This wisdom echoes across the world. In the Gospels, Jesus watches wealthy people pour large offerings into the temple treasury, and then a destitute widow drops in 2 small copper coins. And he says she has given more than all of them, for they gave from abundance, but she gave from her poverty. The Roman philosopher Seneca wrote to an emperor that mercy is the crowning virtue of rulers, precisely because they have every power to do otherwise. And modern psychology agrees. Researchers find that people with less often give a larger share of what they have. And studies of forgiveness show that when the one who holds the power chooses to forgive, their own body softens, stress hormones fall, the heart grows healthier. Forgiveness elevates the forgiver first. Think of Nelson Mandela, walking out of 27 years of prison into the presidency, holding total power to punish and choosing reconciliation. That is Prabhush Chakshamaya Yukta, alive in our own era. So how do we live this verse? Notice that every one of us occupies both positions every single day. Somewhere you are the Prabhu. You have the upper hand over someone, a child, a junior, a person who wronged you and needs your pardon. And somewhere you are the Daridra, short of money or time or energy or patience. So tonight and every night, ask yourself 2 small questions. First, where did I have power today and did I use it to punish or to pardon? Second, what was I short of today and did I still give a little of exactly that? If you were short of time, give 10 unhurried minutes to someone. If money was tight, give a small amount that you truly feel. That is giving from poverty, and it weighs more than gold given from surplus. And carry one phrase with you as a mental bell. Whenever someone offends you and you feel the heat rise, silently say to yourself, right now I am the Prabhu. Let that word remind you that the only power truly worth having is the power you can afford not to use. Dvavimau purushau rajan swargasyopari tishtatah prabhushchakshamaya yukta daridrascha pradanavan. 2 persons stand above heaven, the strong one who forgives, the poor one who gives. May you at least once today be one of them.
द्वाविमौ पुरुषौ राजन् स्वर्गस्योपरि तिष्ठतः प्रभुश्च क्षमया युक्तो दरिद्रश्च प्रदानवान्